What's up, y'all? It's Boss Lady Simone here, and I'm just coming on here to talk about racism, especially the situation that happened with the lady Sandra getting shot in her house. I ain't gonna talk about nothing that I ain't seen, heard, or went through with my own two eyes. You know what I'm saying? Or experience. You know, I was talking to my husband about something that happened to me when I was younger, when I first experienced racism. I was telling him I was going into first grade. Like, I can remember a lot of shit when ever since I was like real young, and it was my first day. See, my mom didn't want to send me to the school where we was living at, because like I said, we was living in the projects, and she was like bougetto. So she tried to send me to the school where it was a bunch of white kids. I was the only black girl in the class, and we was all sitting in this cafeteria. I'm telling you all about the first time I experienced, racism. We was all sitting in the cafeteria, all the kids, because it was the first day of school, and all the kids were sitting in the cafeteria. So the principal was doing magic and shit like that, and he was white, and like all the teachers was white. Like, it was probably like a handful of black kids in that school. It was like, I could say about, it wasn't that many. You could tell they just opened it up for blacks to start going to that school. I ain't that old, y'all. I'm not that old. I promise I'm not. I'm only 35. But so the teachers got the call and all the kids that was on the list that was in their class or whatever. And I was the only one. Everybody had went to their class with their teachers, walked in the single file line. I was the only one that was in the class. I mean, in the lunch, in the cafeteria. The teacher skipped over my name. Yes, she was white. And I was still in the cafeteria by myself. Everybody had disappeared and left. And I was in there just crying. And then I see the one teacher, it was the art teacher, walked past and was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you crying for? We your teacher. I was like, I don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm only in the first grade. Like, I'm telling her, like, I don't know, I'm crying and stuff like that. And she was like, well, let's go figure it out. Let's go to the office. So we go to the office. They figure it out. They send me to the class. So the teacher, when they brought me to the class, the teacher looked at the art teacher, and she was like, oh, what is her name? And then she was like, Akira. And she was like, Akira? She was like, you ain't hear me call your name? Right off the back, I'm looking like, just looking. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no. She was like, yeah, because you wasn't listening. Straight off the gate. Like, she just mean. Like, and she like, there's your science seat over there. So, I go to my seat or whatever the case may be. So then every story time, this was every day. Like, we would always have story time. We would sit on the carpet and everybody would pick a book. You'll pick a book and you get to sit on her lap. Like, I understand that either. Like, this shit is weird. Like, everybody got to sit on her lap in front of the whole class while everybody sit on the carpet and take turns reading a book. This lady would never let me sit on her lap. Never. So, like, I would have to sit in the seat by myself. And mind you, when you're in first grade, you can't fucking read or like that, especially if you have parents who didn't show you how to read, or, you know what I'm saying? So I sit up there and in the chair by myself and read the book and be nervous in front of the class or whatever, and barely knew how to read. So, kids would look at me and laugh at me, and then she'd be like, oh, just have a seat. She'd get frustrated at, oh, just have a seat or whatever. So, like, every time, like, I do my work, it was this one kid who would copy off my paper. And she used to be like, Akira, why are you copying off his paper? I never copied off this boy's paper. You know what I'm saying? So he would always sit next to me, and his seat was assigned next to mine, and he would copy off my paper. So one day I tricked his ass up. I had him to he was copying off my paper. I said, oh, don't forget to write this at the top. I had him to write my name so I could show her that he's copying off my motherfucking paper. So we turned the paper in. So she was like, so-and-so, Akira, why did you turn in two papers? I said, I did it. I said, I told you he was copying off my paper. And she was like, oh. So she looked like she didn't say nothing to him, like she was going at it with me when she, you know what I'm saying, when the situation first happened. And she was like, she separated the boys, set him next to another girl or whatever the case may be. And then she was like, Akira, she was like, well, she just left it alone. So long story short, like, that was the first time I experienced racism. And she, like, never used to help me, you know, write my ABCs or write my 1, 2, 3s and shit like that. Like, she will skip over me no matter if I raise my hand or try to embarrass me in front of the whole class. Like, it was sad. And one day I went home and told my mom, but you know, my mom, she young. When you a young parent and you know, parents really, they listen, but they don't listen for real. My mom, she did, but it was like, she had so much shit going on. You know, when I was younger, I used to be at my Uncle David house and Auntie Mona house. And I told my Auntie Mona, I'm like, you know, this lady is very, my teacher is very racist. I told her everything that I'm telling y'all. And she was like, why your mom ain't never get you up out that school? So I'm like, I don't know. She keep giving me F's. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm just tired of it. So my mom, she called my mom. My mom and her had a conversation. She took me out to school or whatever. I ended up going to the school that was in my neighborhood, which is Anti-Cadena. Best school ever. Had black teachers, everything. I felt comfortable when I was there. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a whole lot. What I'm saying is, like, racism is real. You know what I'm saying? It's so freaking real out here. And we can sit up here and prepare our kids and tell our kids, like, this, that, the next, yada, yada, yada. You got to do this when you come across a racism. I mean, they still going to do what they going to do. But you got to understand, God is real. You know what I'm saying? God is so real. So the thing is, they don't be understanding these people who be these white people, white cops that's bad. They be out here killing people, our people. Like, they gotta look up to God, because he the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? And they gotta understand, like, even if they don't get caught right then and there, the God that we serve, y'all, they gonna have to see. Because you gotta think, they gonna get old, they gonna get retired, and they gonna be in these nursing homes. And guess who working at these nursing homes? People who color, our color. All the STNAs, all the LPNs, all of them. And guess what? All the old racism white people be the ones that be in them nursing homes. Family don't give a fuck about them. They in there miserable, mad, talking to the people that the nurses that's my color, crazy, and then be trying to flirt with the ones that's their color and don't want their old wrinkled ass. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying to say this, like, the God that we serve a God who's full of love. And if you don't have that in your heart, and guess what? You get what you put out. You know, you gotta also think, like, racism is taught. The person that was raising that person was teaching them that, and it's been going on for years and years and years and years, and still to this day. I heard the story off of Instagram from a pastor, whatever. Y'all probably heard it too. A black lady moved in a white people neighborhood. She didn't want her in her neighborhood. She kept shitting in her grass, and the black lady didn't get mad or whatever. She'll take it, you know, because shit is fertilizer. So it, you know, grew her plants and stuff like that. So the old white lady that was racist ended up getting sick. So the black lady ended up taking her some roses. So the lady ended up giving her the roses, and she was like, well, these roses is beautiful or whatever. Where'd you get them roses? How did you grow these roses? So the lady was like, well, remember when you kept shitting in my yard? You gave me good fertilizer. Here go the flowers. Like, you got to think, like, people don't get away with this stuff. You know, you got to, and then you see it on the news. You see these cops that be out here be trying to put their hands on the people. Like, you already got them under arrest. Why is you sneaking hitting them? Like, I ain't never understood that. And then they look around to see if anybody looking at them because they snuck in that hit. Or they talk about, like, they called that officer that killed that lady, called her a crazy bitch after he had shot her. What? Like, you know, in the Bible say, vengeance is mine. So you know the kind of God we serve, baby. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. And everything happened for a reason. Everything happens for us and not to us. Guess what? A lot of shit is getting exposed. Just know that. Just know that. A lot of shit that is really getting exposed out here, especially when you're racist. And you ain't even got to be white being racist. It's some black people out here that's racism too. They don't even like their own color. I know. Y'all got to stop that. Because you got to think God made us in his own image. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got eyes. Everybody got nose. Everybody got ears. Everybody got legs. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is different is our skin color. But what makes you better? Like I said, payback is a mug. And you got to serve that man. He looking at it. If you don't get caught now, you're gonna eventually have to pay the price later. And what goes around comes around, because I always used to tell my kids, it was done in the dark, always come to the light. It always do. And guess what? That lady Sonya ain't do nothing but stir up some demons in that man. And what he do? Because no telling how many people he was killing before then. So, you know, everything was exposed. And trust me, he gonna get in trouble for everything he did. And what I want to say to y'all is, you know what I'm saying, you know, God is love. Love on people. You know what I'm saying? We got so much hate in this world. We need some love out here. Love on people. Stop all this hating and this just because somebody don't agree with you don't mean you got to start up some stuff. It don't mean it just because somebody not the same color as you don't mean you got to start up some stuff. It don't. It really don't. So I'm signing off. I'm saying Boss Lady here, and see y'all.